Welcome back to a fresh new episode of Missin Curfew, Updogg.
My boy.
Hockey sucks.
Roxy for one.
Hockey sucks.
You might as well wear Roxy for never-ending beers I want to fall on my face after the weekend of gambling I had.
I felt like I just need to go to the Roxy back bar, order a bunch
Jäger
of shots,
bombs, Peter bombs,
and just get so drunk that I just stumble out the back door.
Yeah.
And then go home drunk, loser.
Tongue hanging out of your mouth.
Man, what a first round. I mean,
that well, what happened over the weekend on Sunday in particular, we're having an Uppy's World party time. I'm at my buddy Cody's birthday party and looking forward to a couple exciting game sevens. And what a disappointment to start off witnessing the biggest collapse in modern day NHL history. So,
how
ruined
fucking
my
nervous were they?
Boston was nervous. Boston could not hold on to a puck.
Couldn't make a pass.
They fought it. They had no pressure. They were, and it goes back to saying I'd much rather be in the Florida Panthers position than in their position because they were a completely different team than we've ever seen them play this year. In home, game 7. What are the odds that, the best team in the league, 60 wins, whatever the fuck. It's nuts.
I mean, I can't understand. I'm trying to put myself in the Boston Bruins dressing room where you've played all year. You broke the record for most points. You had 65 fucking wins. You did everything you could to have this game at home. And you were up 3-1. And in my mind, I'm like, Updogg, these guys are lucky to be in game 7. Let's fucking bury them and let's go out in Southie after this game tonight.
Totally.
Like, how could you be nervous? I don't get it. You should have been excited. Like, I get maybe because of the record and the best team and all that, but like, you played your guts out to get home ice and to come out that flat and make that many bad passes. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Like they were getting their asses kicked. First 2 periods, it was heads up. And shout out to Florida. I mean, they just, what they did and what they did within their room. And we don't even know half the stories. Matty Tkachuk's been an amazing player, showing his leadership skills, showing his game time plays. But what he's been able to share with the media on their mentality has been a great dive into modern day psychological warfare. Yeah,
he's good at it. He's up to it again. He said today in his morning skate presser after he went out there and threw a little backhand sauce. Actually, probably took the option. He said Toronto's the best team left.
Well, he said the prize you get for beating the best team in the league
is you get the next
best facing the next best team in the league. So it's a little bit, I doubt Toronto's the next best, but anyway.
Well, we're going to get into the series. I want to get your opinion on it, obviously, because you're hot. But listen to this, right? Like, so I've never been a big hedger, right? Like, I just think hedging's it's soft, right? You hedge your bets, a little soft.
Yeah, depends.
So I wake up Sunday at the Ritz-Carlton downtown, little hung cheese, and I drive home, and it doesn't even click into me that if I just take Florida, right? So I had Boston at minus 310 in the series. So I could have taken Florida for $3,000 and hedged it. And then I could have taken Seattle for minus 210 for them to win 2,000 and hedged the Avs bet. And I could have came out of it scot-free and I would have been even for the first round. I would have lost no money. What do? Fucking hammer the Bruins at minus 220 and hammer the Avs at minus 210 and just take it in the tailpipe like you've never taken. The biggest loss in the history of gambling for me on one day. On one day. And you want to talk about just being hungover and watch. I mean, listen, when Boston lost and then, the Avs come out and credit to your boy Grubauer. I mean, it could have been, McKenna could have had 4 in the first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here we go. Here's the game 7. And then Ben Myers, I've been chirping this guy the entire season and I know it's a bad bounce, but he goes to the net, he hits his glove, goes in his own net. Then Bjorkstrom comes down and rips one posting in and, another offside challenge. Lehkonen, drag your fucking foot. Like, I just don't get why these guys don't drag their toes more, but that could happen in a game 7.
Yeah.
Like, that can happen. That one didn't shock me as much. That one I kind of saw coming. The Boston one. I just
remember, and shout out to Chicken Parm because he's covered a couple of these game 7s. But what he did say this last one is you can't wait to get into game 7s. Like, you can't just sit around and watch the game happen before your eyes because next thing you know, it's fucking middle of the second period and you're playing catch up. Yeah, as soon as the puck drops in a game 7, Obie, you don't have any, right?
Not in the show.
So I've got 3.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
American League, I got a few.
But anyway, I just remember the first period being like, fuck, just okay, keep your body in check. Like, don't do anything stupid, no penalties. But fucking embrace this. Like, come out flying. Show the building your energy. Show, if you're on the road, fucking bury these guys. Like, what we witnessed was a hot goalie against the Avs, Grubauer, and Bjorkstrand, who could have had 5 goals.
Sure.
2 for 3 off the bar. We had pucks in areas. Well, how is he getting pucks in there? Like, he's not. I mean, he's not fucking Nathan McKinnon.
The Avs had one line. Like, you can see Bedard was trying to time it. That literally, we used to chirp Rob Niedermeyer. Getsy would call him a human clock killer. Now that's what the 3rd and 4th line was for the Avs. Like, if I'm those boys. You see Kale McCarr sitting in his equipment, didn't want to take it off. Eric Johnson crying because it's probably his last games as an Av. Rantanen, McKenna. Like, these guys, they got to be feeling like, man, I didn't do anything. They did nothing. They literally, their 3rd and 4th line did nothing.
Nothing.
Like, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, McCarr was trying his guts off. McKinnon, they were all trying, but you can't win with one line.
No, I mean, Helm is a big, he wasn't able to get in the series.
I don't know where Duchushkin is.
Well, yeah. I think the reports are coming out there. That's a tough situation.
Is there? I haven't seen anything about it.
It's just he's in one.
They just missed him, man. I mean,
fucking A, missed him, but
he
fucked up. You can't let your team down fucking nights before games like that.
Totally.
And
they missed Landy. And one thing that regular season, I guess now more than ever with all these power plays, and I guess it's the power plays, is you can win with a line and a half. The Avalanche down the stretch won 18 of 20 for me for bets. I text Loops after the trade deadline and I said, fella, take the Avs the rest of the way home. He never did because he was too busy living life, but they went 18 for 20 for me. And there was not one part of me that thought, oh, come playoff time, what about their 3rd and 4th line? Yeah. I just thought they'd keep rolling. And the Kraken had more depth and the Avs had 0 depth up front. 0.
Yeah, the one thing in that series I looked at was can Seattle find a way to score with their depth? Because they don't have these game-breaking players. Yeah. They don't have game-breaking guys that are just going to score 2 a night like the Oilers and win these games. And Avery talked about it in our podcast with him.
Yeah.
Like, Draisaitl will win fucking 4 games in the first round for the Oilers, like, if he plays well. McDavid, same thing. They don't have game-breaking fucking guys in Seattle, but they got the goaltending. They all chipped in, like you just said. I think they had the most players with a goal in the first round. They might have had 16 different players score a goal in the first round. That is what wins hockey games. That separates yourselves from, in a 7-game long series, what's going to be the difference is everyone chipping in, like you just said.
Oh.
It was a great battle, but Boston, Jesus fuck. How much money did the fucking bookies make in Boston, you think?
Oh, fuck. Everyone got rinsed. Everyone got rinsed.
Think about it in Boston in particular.
I mean, if you went with guys that are degenerates like ourselves or guys that gamble.
Which a lot of them are in Boston.
A lot of them are in Boston. If anything, they laid off it, right? They said, I don't want to take Boston at minus 220. Nobody was taking the Panthers that I've spoken to. Nobody was. I've heard guys I've talked to say I didn't bet at those because the line was too big and it was a game 7 that can happen. But I haven't heard too many people that took Boston game 7.
So I want to bring up, I met a guy, shout out to this guy. He's a badass poker player. His name's Greg Mueller. He lives up in Vancouver, friend of the pod. I saw him in Seattle and he's a sports bettor. Yeah. So he kind of dove into a little bit of the mindset on how Vegas is making their lines. And when you see like that line that just makes you want to take it because they're like, how does this team lose a game? Vegas is smart, right? They put these lines there for a reason, especially hockey with money lines and how it's, you can't bet like football. Anyway, so he went on and he states this on the Sunday with the 2 game 7s. And here's why it's so profitable to bet an underdog long-term with a mentality like this. Because that day, Obie, $1,000 on Florida was plus 190. Okay.
Yeah. So
you win 1,900 or you lose, it's only 1,000. $1,000 on the Kraken, exact same thing, but it was plus 180. So if you go 2-0, your profit there is 3,700. If you go 0-2, you're only losing $2,000. But if you go 1-1, you're profiting $800 or $900 with a 1-1 bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Vase versus if you took the fucking favorites on a day like this when Vegas wants you to take these favorites.
Are you trying to make me relive it?
No, I know, but I lived it.
What's he trying to do here, Max? Is he making me relive it?
I'm helping the fucking mindset of bettors. Like, I'm helping. No, you bet with your heart.
No,
I got 3 more rounds to
I bet with your heart.
I bet looking at it as an ex-player. Anytime I bet something, to me, I'm looking at it from a perspective of an
but you
ex-player.
knew Nutushkin wasn't in. You knew that McKinnon had one line.
Yeah.
You knew that they were getting beat all series, basically. They had a tough time with Seattle.
Yeah.
And the line was the way it was, and you still thought they were going to go in and beat them?
I thought Grubauer was going to have a stinker.
Okay.
I thought he was due for a stinker, and he proved me wrong. He stood on his fucking head.
Yeah.
If he doesn't stand on his head, the Avs win that hockey game. Now, the Bruins, to me, coming out like that, I didn't see that coming.
No,
As an
exactly.
ex-player, I'm like, they're going to come out.
So he's saying, without betting with your heart, this is how you should look at a day like that where the lines are so twisted up. Like where there's two heavy favorites. And listen.
Well, it was 1 versus 8.
Huh?
It was both 1 versus 8 in both. Or no, 2 versus 7 against Colorado because Vegas won the
but they
Pacific.
both had such great series back and forth that it could be a toss-up. It's hockey, right? So, I'm only pointing this out because I think like you a lot. Where I think like an ex-player, I think like how can they lose? But the lines being so drawn up like this, it makes...
In a game 7, you realize any team can lose. Now, I see what you're saying, but I look at it also, like down the stretch, there was a couple times where I took the Avalanche at minus 400. Now, that's Vegas trying to scare me off of it. And they were trying, in my opinion, I think Vegas was making those lines minus 220 to scare you off of them. People would have thought that Boston was definitely going to win.
Yeah,
100%. So sometimes I look at it like, you got to give your balls a tug because Vegas made this line so high that they're trying to scare me off it. They're trying to make me take the puck line.
I know.
And
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But this end is just where it's like crazy. Because you go 2-0 picking those teams, you only profit $2,000. If you go 0-2, you lose $4,400. And if you go 1-1, you go 1-1, which is odds are what happens.
I know.
You still lose $1,200. It's fucking Vegas is what I'm saying. These pricks.
Well, there's a reason there's a city built on gambling. We're not going to take them down, but we just got to limit the damage.
So anyway, dogs, and shout out to Greg because that's just, I think our listeners like to hear that.
Yeah. And then the Rangers game 7 was, credit to you and your Devils. Frosty, fuck your hair, looked great on the bench after the game.
Devils fans are mutants, so you're not wrong about
mutants.
that. Did you see them outside after the game?
Yeah, they're playing the Rangers. They're playing the Rangers goal song. I guess that's just a little salt in the wound for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big rivalry like this. I thought about this last night because listening to Paul Maurice post game after game 7, where he's like, I'm going to have guys in this locker room that will always remember this moment, and we're going to be able to use that in training camp videos, in videos where I have to talk to these guys, and they always have this moment, right? This will be used for young draft picks who come up watching this for 10 years. Yeah. So, right, you get that for 10 fucking years. You win a series like that. Now, vice versa, we have Devils, Rangers. That doesn't happen very often. The battle across the pond.
And maybe this is because I lost. I got fucking whacked in it, but I thought the series in general sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Now, the Trouba hit. Fucking 7 games too late there, big boy. I thought, now, if we went back to Max and said, go back in the archives, I thought that was something that could happen to maybe a Jack Hughes. Maybe Trouba gets Jack Hughes early in the series. Maybe he gets Nico Hischier. Maybe he gets Jesper Bratt. Well, he got Timo Meier.
Oh my God, did he ever?
And Timo came back and shook his hand after like a man. So good on Timo. Yeah. But I thought that Trouba would do that earlier in the series and try to intimidate these guys. And they just didn't. And they couldn't keep up with the Devils, as everyone knows. And the effort that Panarin put out in that game. And I've said it to you. I've said it to Jackie on our segment that I thought he was the biggest superstar in the city. That was a tough effort for him. Real tough effort for him. So who
do you think stole that series to you?
I thought Palat was big. I thought Palat was big for them. What a goal.
By the way, what a goal and what a pickup.
I thought Adam Fox was awful.
Yeah.
Especially
you were right.
7.
He's not fast.
His boots are so slow.
But he slows the game down. But against a team like New Jersey, can't slow the game down. They're fucking coming at you.
Yeah, I think if Chris Drury, when they start their meetings, whenever that takes place, they're going to adjust it. They got to get faster, right? Yeah. The Rangers look slow.
Yeah.
But I mean, in game 1 and 2, they looked unbelievable. Like I thought it was going to be. I'm like, they're going to sweep these young little fuckers right out of town and give credit to the Devils. The goalie changed though. Who's this? Who's this guy?
He's a great.
Did you have him in your depth chart? Did you know he was going to get
world?
You didn't know who this guy was.
Fuck.
Now you do.
You need 3 goalies, but
I mean, I didn't know they had this guy up their sleeve.
He looks like Carey Price in there. The way he moves, he just is like he made some saves yesterday. The one on
he made a big save on Troche.
And even the one on Zibanejad when he misfired in the first period, that was going top shelf. Most goalies come across that. That's it.
Zibanejad was terrible too.
To cut your hair.
Terrible.
Just trim the hair up.
The whole Rangers
What's
D
with
looks
that
slow.
hair?
Their D looks slow.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Would I have liked the New York Rangers to still be in the playoffs for hockey? It would have been great. But the Devils, I'd been riding them. I had said Frosty and Jack Hughes and the boys.
I mean, how does that?
Just
Jack Hughes doesn't mind sniffing a breakaway, does he?
He is very dynamic. I haven't been able to watch him play a lot, but I did this series. He's as good as they come.
Let's look at the stats here for the New Jersey Devils over the course of the series. Because they didn't really score a whole lot of fucking goals.
And they're not going to next round either against the Carolina
I thought
Hurricanes.
they were an offensive juggernaut. That's what all these mutants kept telling me. We're fast. We're fast.
Yeah, but
they are
look
fast.
at the line. They played Shesterkin.
Jack Hughes had 5 points in 7 games. That's a decent series. Palat 5 and 7. Heischer 5 apples. Jasper Bratt had an empty net goal. That was the only goal he got.
Yeah. Timo Meier, no goals.
I mean, the McLeod goal in game 7 was big.
Epic goal.
Big goal for a fourth liner.
Yeah. Same with Tatar. Tuna Tartar. Huge goal.
That was such a bad
by
play
the way,
by Fox.
By the way, what a play by our boy that we had dinner with.
Johnny Marino?
Johnny Marino.
He was great.
He is a big factor in that team.
Their D are their backbone to me.
Yep.
And I got to be honest, I didn't watch the Devils a whole lot this year. Like, I just kind of embraced chirping their fans because it's kind of fun to do. But
yeah.
I bet you I watched the Devils play 5 to 10 times max, and that might have been a period. I just didn't watch them. I knew that they were fast and this and that. They looked nervous in game 1 and 2, and they bounced back and they found a way to win. So,
Andy Ruff, baby.
I love Frosty so much. I want Frosty to win, but he's already got a cup, right?
Yeah, but that's been too long.
He's already got a cup.
Yeah, but it's back in fucking 2000 and what, 3, 4? No, he got the one with the wings in 07, I think.
Yeah.
Frosty needs another run.
Yeah?
It's good for hockey.
Okay, well, we're going to get in the playoff series, but the game 7s, it's great. It's great for hockey.
It's great for hockey.
Refs were pretty good in it, I thought, eh? Refs were all right.
Did you see the clip in Boston where Steve Kasari's fucking telling the guy, don't fucking try me, and it's on the mic. Don't fucking test me.
How is Steve Kasari still out there? How old is that fucking guy?
He was in the dub when I was in the dub. He was
young
a
when we were in the
WHL
league?
ref. He came in the league same time as me. Early 2000s, Steve Kasari made the jump from junior there. So he's been a 20-year journeyman. He'll be around.
Yeah.
He'll be around.
Yeah. It was great. The game 7s were great. I wish I would have maybe hedged my bets like a smart guy. But anyways, you go down with the ship. Updogg, real quick in our intro before we jump into the next rounds. The NFL draft, man.
Yeah.
This kid, Will Levis, I felt for him, bro. I mean,
why? Because his girlfriend's hotter than yours?
Well, I mean, his sister was the smoke show, wasn't it? His sister.
I think she stole the show, but he had the girlfriend and the sister there.
The one blonde, I think his sister was a rocket.
I think I forgot to text Princey, but we need Princey to pull up like all time hottest draft girlfriends.
Well, his girlfriend was looking around the other tables because every pick that went was about fucking $2 million out of his wallet. I felt for the guy, man.
What's he doing though?
He was projected to go anywhere from first overall to fourth.
I think he got called out for like the decision making of his passes and stuff. Like there was a knock on him that could have sent him to where he got picked, but he just trusted that's bad advice though, right?
Well, I don't think the Colts knew who they were going to take, if they were going to take Richardson or him at 4. But after they took Richardson, nobody else needed a quarterback.
I know, so I would have just left.
You probably could have left.
Yeah.
You probably could have went to Due West and started. Oh, they're in Kansas City. Go get some barbecue, maybe.
Go fuck
Didn't
your
he say
girlfriends.
he was going top 5? He came out to the media and said, "I'm going top 5."
I watched a lot of pregame shows that morning on ESPN,
and they've had him projected.
And half of them had him going to Indy, and half of them had Indy taking Richardson. I think it was a toss up, and he just got sizzled.
God.
What do you think the girlfriend did when he got home? Gave him a sympathy bang, or was she like, what am I doing here?
She probably didn't enjoy it that much.
That's a lot of bananas though, man. I felt for him watching that. Like that's probably cost him $25 million, man.
Yeah.
He went second round in the first pick of the second round.
I'd fire my agent tomorrow. Fuck. No, 100%. It's on your agent too. Like, put me in this spot, you prick. Isn't it?
That's not what he's known for, is being that guy that sat there.
Yeah, with a hot chick and a hot sister.
Now he's known for that.
He's just
like
jacked.
Everyone's gonna be like, who's this third string coming in now? Like, who just got hurt?
No, Max is right. Like,
where did he get picked,
whenever he
by the
starts
way?
the Titans took him. But whenever he makes his first start, we'll be like, Updogg, remember this is the guy that sat in the draft for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have left. You're right. Leave and just go get banged up.
Especially if you know you're not gonna. If now there's no quarterbacks for a round.
Yeah.
Leave.
That's where his agent should be like,
Should have
listen,
been,
buddy.
hey, the camera's going to be on you now, especially you brought your hot girlfriend in here. Like they're already on you.
Got your hot sister too. Fuck.
Now they're really going to be on you. Like, let's just, politely, let's get up and say, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
And fucking go.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some barbecue and have a couple.
Because that look isn't bad.
I fell from 54 million viewers. NFL does it right. 3-day draft. I mean, they just made it cool. Like, I just thought it was great again. So good on them. Back up the Brinks truck, our boy Lamar Jackson, 185 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
That was worth the wait.
He's like, what, the 7th best quarterback in the NFL? Where would you think he is?
3 years ago, he was the best.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
I think he's up there still. I think he's top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5.
I think what he does with his legs is, I think he's the best running quarterback.
He runs with 3 legs, doesn't he?
I'll tell you what, they drafted a wide receiver for him. Poor Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. They take a defensive player.
Yeah.
Packers again take a defensive player. What's wrong with these guys in Green Bay, man? They don't like drafting offensive guys, eh?
Build from the back end.
I guess defense wins.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a separator, but maybe those players are just so dynamic.
Oh,
I mean, look at
keep it
Green Bay's
separated.
last 2 quarterbacks. They're not guys that they drafted high, paid a buttload of money off the top, right? Favre and Rodgers, neither of them were first-round picks, right?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, they had something in them.
I mean,
Winning pedigree.
I mean, you got a nice signing bonus with you, but imagine being a first rounder and getting like 25 bananas guaranteed.
Is that paid right away?
There you go. Huh? How are you? So, last but not least on our intro here, I want to give a shout out to a couple Port Hope boys. They're going toe to toe. Shout out to the Christian Erickson back home in Port Hope. He's the one that told me about this. Dylan Wakely for the North Bay Battalion and Owen Beck for the Peterborough Petes. 2 Port Hope boys playing in the Eastern Conference Finals in the OHL.
Nice.
And Dylan Wakely, he won Humanitarian of the Year or was a finalist for the Humanitarian of the Year.
He's a good guy.
Good kid.
Yeah, good kid.
Something I was never up for.
By the way, kids, you should all be going for that award.
Yeah.
It's a good award.
That's a great award.
I was Scholastic Player of the Year back in the day.
Yeah, that's crazy
That's
to
a
me.
tough one.
Did you cheat? Did you cheat on the test?
No, I wasn't cheating.
Did you cheat?
But no, I had
You had
couple
some
tutors. I had some
couple girls
tutors
that were helping you, eh?
Yeah, I had some tutors. Yeah.
So anyways, go
What
get
are
it,
you
boys.
talking about?
I hope one of those guys can go to the Memorial Cup because I think we're going to go back to your old stomping ground. So
Yeah, we are.
good for those boys. Dylan Wakely, Owen Beck, keeping Port Hope on the map. We already did Uppy's World, right?
Uppy's World.
Uppy's
Yeah,
World,
it was
party
a
time.
shout out, but I got, Logan's 5th birthday. Or shout out to Cody and
Yeah.
Grace's kid. They did a beautiful party at their house. They had the snow cones. Izzy loved the snow cones.
What's not to love?
Beautiful backyard. I gave and shout out to Sean May from the Oilers. He
Good guy,
was
man.
kind enough to give me a McDavid jersey, so I gave little Logan a McDavid signed jersey. And I said, hey, I'm putting some cash on the Oilers to win the cup here, so let's go. Wear this jersey when you watch the games.
I'm all in on the oil. We're going to get into that, but that guy's a good dude. We had a couple with him at the JW
Sean May,
Marriott.
he's a beauty.
Shout out to Shea 92. Had a couple with him.
Yeah, Sheriff.
Good guy. Real good guy. Yeah, I talked to Eddie O about that. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, a couple times.
I told Eddie O I liked it, and then the next game he stopped calling him the sheriff. So I don't know.
They got good chemistry, those boys.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Eddie O's great.
Played the game.
90's great. TNT in general is doing a hell of a job. So we'll be right back, fella. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updogg, my man.
Fella.
DraftKings, baby.
Oh, shit. Should we look at some
Listen,
lines?
we've
for
talked
the
about
playoffs?
gambling here, and you've made your point about. I think he was calling me a sucker for taking the favorites, but was that what you're calling? You're saying
I took a massive favorite.
I know, I'm
and
just
I
joking.
bet the favorite in the
I'm just
series.
joking.
It's
I'm just
tough.
But something that I think when you talk about it from a gambling perspective, and this is now I'm not talking as an ex-player, because as an ex-player, if you were on my team, I would not want this information out there. But when the NHL tells me that Cale Makar has a lower body injury, I want to know as a gambler, what is it? Does he have a fucking bruise on his knee or is his right groin hanging on by a thread? Because it's going to dictate to me what my bet is. Now, how healthy is Cale Makar? Like, what is it? Is it groin? Is it a hip? Like, to me, lower body, upper body, it just doesn't do it anymore, especially when it comes to gambling. In the NFL, they say, Odell Beckham, he's got a bad fucking hammy. He can't run. I think it's something they got to think about in the NHL when it comes to gambling.
Now, there's a way to look at this, and I think from a perspective of, do we want hockey to be a gambling sport?
It already is.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. That's the biggest.
Why?
Do we? Yes, we do.
Of course we do. So that would be the question I think needs to, you're Bettman, you're Bill Daly, You're like some team managers. You're all kind of sitting in the round table. Now it's like, okay, guys, gambling is becoming bigger and bigger. Our sponsors are DraftKings. Our sponsors are whatever, right? We need to now implement better information through the pipeline of the NHL that allows people to have more strategy to gambling, because this is an issue. But
I just want to know how banged up he is.
the NFL gambling is so massive that's why there is more money laid on that than hockey. Maybe the big guys in hockey that like to really fire cash are like, fuck, you can't, hockey is too hard to bet on because of these reasons, right?
Yeah.
So is it something that the NHL needs to look at? Because we need to accommodate more to the sports bettor. That gets more eyes on the TV. That gets more viewership, gets more sponsors. Yeah, you're right. What I'm saying is this needs to be a round table, because, gambling is now officially fucking coming out in all states, and it's a real thing, and we need information like this.
Yeah, and I think, the days of, even from when we played and before us, right? Of, okay, if I knew you had a fucking something wrong with your elbow, then I would come in and whack your elbow. I would have, when I played, I would have done that 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think the kids that play now are necessarily going to go after Connor McDavid's right knee. If you come out and say Connor McDavid's dealing with a right knee contusion or a right knee strain, because that's what they say in the NFL. And come playoff time in the NHL, I think when it comes to gambling purposes, that would be good information for people to see how banged up they really are.
Of course.
Like Victor Hedman was playing with a fucking popped out hip. Now we all thought he was playing with something that was back or hip.
But what is it?
But what is it?
Yeah, because as players, we know like, oh, is it a broken pinky?
Yeah.
Because, okay, I can handle fucking, Kucherov with a broken pinky. But if Kucherov has a fucking torn labrum, I might be like, that's the difference in the game.
Exactly.
So fuck it.
Or if he's got like a broken thumb, right?
Yeah.
You've played with a broken, maybe
thumb's
he can't,
different than a
he can't
pinky.
dangle, or his wrist is like there's stuff that could, I think, for bettors out there.
Someone told me my opponent off of a face-off had a broken thumb, I'm giving him a love tap.
I'm giving him more than a love tap. I'm two-handed him.
But that's the same in like football. If a guy's like, if a guy's got a bad right ankle, you're fucking tackling his right ankle. If you have a chance to go at both of his feet, you're going to try to go with the right one. Right? Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Am I just
I think football is a lot harder to target a specific body part than hockey.
Oh yeah, because we got a weapon. We got a stick.
Yeah.
You get just a little poke.
And there's a lot more just like moving side by side with somebody in hockey than in football, where it's.
Look, Max played football. He was a starting lineman.
I would have liked to fucking take a run at Max on the football field. I'll tell you that. What
Safety.
position were you, Max?
Hey,
I was a DB. I played defense.
He goes up and
defense.
just goes to grab one. You just hear the safety and just
to fucking take the right knee out.
Pierce him right in the chest.
I was the safety taking the knees out.
Oh. So I would have tried to run right through you then. I would have just came at you.
Barreled, just tuck that ball, put the helmet down, spearhead him.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's something that upper body, lower body, it's a big secret. I don't tell the boys what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you think like, and Max very well could be right, that it's easier in hockey to go after a guy and slash him in the, there's no slashing anymore because they're going to call penalty. But do you think these kids are built the same way as we were and our previous guys before us, Chris Pronger, whoever, Dougie Gilmore? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to use that as to try to get them out of the series. I think they've become that soft. I think it's that fucking soft out there.
I mean, you'd think they'd still have hockey IQ of like, hey,
like Corey Perry's going to do it.
Yeah, you want an advantage on the guy next to you because, when that last fucking buzzer hits, if you're not, winning 4 games, they're moving on, and that's I would take it every advantage.
I know you would.
Every advantage you have as an athlete, you would need to take it,
and that's why I would take you on my team any day of the week.
Yeah.
Batted for many other reasons, but I don't think there's many Scotty Upshaws buzzing around out there anymore.
Yeah,
in fact, I know there's not.
That hit. Can we go back to that hit? That was fucking crazy.
You know what? I chirped you because
I did eat the weed gummy, but that was as strong of a hit.
I went back and looked at the Scott Stevens on Paul Kariya hit.
It's the same.
Trouba's was harder.
I know it was.
It was harder.
The neck whiplash, like, and
got him like
his head was
like
just
like if this was his shoulder.
How does he feel this morning? How does Meyer feel this morning? I mean, but that's what hurts. Winning hurts. Hockey hurts.
In one. Let's say that his beak's in one.
Like when you look at the UFC, like the UFC is fucking a tough sport. And you might win the fucking fight, but in the second round when you got fucking KO'd and fell back, and guys were like, "Wow, that hurts. This sport hurts. Hockey fucking hurts." Okay, that's just
Big
the
time.
way it is. And clean hits are clean hits, and they'll never fucking be taken out of the game.
Yeah.
If you come through the middle of the ice like that, and fucking Trouba is on the ice, heads up, because that could, if that happens in game 3 or 4, I'm with you.
It's different.
The New York
He waited
Rangers
too
win the
long.
series.
He waited too long to do it. And for you fucking media guys out there, and you know who I am, I'm not going to mention names, although I could, Uppy. Quit tweeting every time there's a big hit. Oh, should this be in the game? What do you think? Head trauma, this and that. Like, as hockey players, we realize the risk we take. We're playing for the Stanley Cup. His head was down. Meyer in the handshake gave him a handshake and said to him, great hit.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
And no, we don't want to see anyone get hurt.
Of course.
But I'm sick of these guys tweeting out, we got to get this out of our game. It's a clean body check, and they're playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
You never played.
Yeah.
You don't know. So quit tweeting about it.
I know.
And drawing attention to it, because every ex-player would agree, or 90%
I don't even
of
know
us.
if the visor was a good thing.
No,
he
the
might have
visor
been,
probably cut
been
it
better
even more.
to not have a visor on,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'd rather
Well,
just
his
take
nose
that.
went, if this is Trouba's shoulder, his nose went like that.
Oh, man, it just squished.
I would say for you and Devils, what are you guys, Nation, or what are you guys called? What are you, Devils?
I don't know what we are.
What
but
do you
this
guys
is
call-
my tarp here, and I'm sticking to it.
I would
This
say
Husey, baby.
that might have been a little wake-up call for Timo Meier, that he may, you know, hopefully his head's okay, and he bounces back and he can
he's
play.
fine.
And if he can, I would expect Timo Meier to be better against the Carolina Hurricanes, because that hit will wake you up.
That'll
and be like,
wake you up.
holy
Yeah,
shit.
usually you want to get hit like that early.
You do want to get hit early, but not like that. But you do want to get hit. You want to get hit early. You want to get hit.
Totally,
take a hit,
because
in the
you're
game.
into it. Hey, you fucking idiots, you're sleeping out here. Someone get hit. Right?
I mean, someone on that Rangers bench, and I like Trouba, but he waited too long. Like somebody in a TV timeout.
I thought Tyler Mott played a good first period.
Tyler Mott was their best player.
Yeah.
And hence is why, and no disrespect to Tyler Mott, I love him. Barclay Goudreau, I love him.
Yeah.
Jimmy Vesey, a great player. They were their best player. That's why they're getting ready to fucking go to Due West right now and not play in the second round.
That kid that signed the extension, the young kid line, the big lefty. Hedl. He wasn't anywhere to be found. Lafreniere, nowhere to be found. It's a tough
No,
squad.
it's-
I think
it's-
about Turk and the coaching staff there. I think they're probably going to shake things up. What do you think?
It's crazy. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And it's just like last year they go all the way to the conference finals and don't expect them to. And now there's all this pressure. And
Well, they made those moves, right? Like they get Kane, you get Tarasenko. It's, you're kind of going all in.
if I had any advice for Chris Drury, I would say maybe bring in a few more North American guys here. A little more sandpaper. Like, don't get me wrong, Russian players are super skilled, and I enjoyed every Russian guy I played with. Even Ilya Bryzgalov, who was the craziest goalie ever. But I like Russian guys, and they're super skilled, and you do need them to win. But I think, they got a lot of them there and a lot of European guys. I think it might be something they want to think about, is maybe bringing in.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's guys out there, but that's something to me watching. They looked a little soft, and slow.
I agree.
So
I agree.
But anyways, something to think about on the betting thing.
Should we look
We
at
want the
these
inside
lines?
scoop.
Should we look at the lines for because we're on gambling still. Should we look at like these what these lines are currently?
Well,
future?
let's go through each series right here, because this is the Stanley Cup Playoffs round 2, brought to you by our good friends at DraftKings. Promo code Curfew Kings. A lot of hockey left, Max and Banger. I'm down, but I'm not out, and I'm gonna fucking chase it till the end. So either I'm gonna be living at the Bay Club or living with Binger. I'm not sure. Panthers Maple Leafs. What's the line on the series, Updogg, if you got it pulled up there?
I do, baby.
What are you thinking? Leafs fans were having a nice night in Toronto. I wish I
know
was
they
at
were.
Marble with Peter that night. Gurgis is going to
Listen,
make so
Toronto
much
Maple
money.
Leafs right now, round 2, are the official favorites to win the Stanley Cup. But in this series, they are minus 180. You're laying 180 to win 100 in this round. And the Florida Panthers are plus 155 as the underdog. I tell you what, if there's a team out there that wants to be the underdog, it's the Florida Panthers. They embrace it. They have a great coach, confident as all hell. You go back to when he just absolutely shredded their whole squad, and it was the fucking best 90 seconds, I think, of the last couple of weeks of the season. Big Walt chirping them in the media. All of a sudden, they get in by 1 point in their last game, needing teams to lose. Florida Panthers, they got nothing to lose. And I see this series being a long one. I think the Florida Panthers are going to use what they just went through. I think they're still healthy. To me, they don't look banged up. Bobrovsky did what he had to do. He's going to ride a confidence wave. What do you think? If I was to bet this, I'm betting.
Are you going to bet this one? Because
Are you?
Right now, I'm not. Right now, I haven't bet it. No, I'm probably going to stay off this one. And I'm a little gun shy. I have yet to bet this. I picked, you know,
See,
and
I like to watch the first game.
by the way, I learned that off you. That's another thing I'm going to do. Jumping on the series right off the get-go cost me as well because I couldn't get a feel for the series. I was going off the regular season. And I, you know, when you watch it, especially as guys that went out there and tried to win that big fucking nice, pretty trophy, you can get a sense of where it's going.
Yeah.
Right? Like, after game 1 and 2 with Seattle, we both realized that it was a series, right?
Yeah.
Now, I still thought the Avs were going to win, but I knew they weren't going to beat them in 5. Listen, I'll start with Florida. Matty Tkachuk, it goes without saying. My boy Monty Kidfella playing unbelievable. I want to give some love to Nick Cousins, who's a good Belleville boy, who I've been texting with a little bit too. Sam Bennett, and Barkov. Barkov, I put on the milk carton early in the series. I thought Barkey got better as the game went on. Barkey, there's still more, buddy. You're a big Finnish machine. You're still more to your game. Updogg, I'm a big believer in mojo and locker room and everything you just said about Paul Maurice and this team. I don't know. I'm taking the Panthers in 6 because I believe in what they're building. Lindell has been unbelievable. I'm concerned. Can their defense slow down the Buds? Can Mark Stahl, Gudas, can they slow down Marner and Matthews? But I'm going to take the Panthers in 6 just because of Matty and what they got in that dressing room.
Yeah. Listen, I know eventually this is going to get to a shootout style of series, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Toronto wants that to happen. Toronto wants Marner and Matthews and, you know, Bunting and Tavares. They want these guys out there in these long, drawn out shifts that have chances at both ends, because once Marner can get the puck on his stick in the ozone when the team is tired, that's where the Toronto Maple Leafs, that's where they're at their best. That's when Matthews gets his cookies. That's when Marner starts holding onto the puck for 10, 20, 30 seconds at a time. And that's where they beat teams, grind them down.
Totally.
So I think that, you know, looking how the Florida Panthers loosened up their game, you know, and it starts with our boy on the back end,
Montour,
playing like a forward, getting fucking chances. And so I see this being a back and forth series. And to me, that's kind of why I think Toronto's going to win this one.
How many games you want to tell? How many games?
I think it's going to be Toronto in 6. Toronto in 6.
And for you, if there's any young defensemen out there listening, if you hear guys say play on your toes, watch Brandon Montour. As a defenseman, that's called playing on your toes. That's anticipating. That's getting down the wall. You know, this kid is taking the game on. And you know, me and you have talked a lot about USA Hockey and building it down here. Well, you got Matthews versus Tkachuk. You know, arguably the two best American-born players right now. I mean, I would take Matty just because I love Matty. He's been good to us, and I like his fuck you. And I love Austin Matthews, too, don't get me wrong. But Matty Tkachuk, to me, is like, fuck, he goes in that Uppy.
Yeah, listen, I saw Trevor Zegras yesterday. He said the same thing. I think Austin Matthews is the best goal scorer, but I think Matty Tkachuk is the best American player right now. Like, he'll be the best. He arguably is the best player in the first round. Last round. He's the best player in this series, I think, right now.
11 points in 7 games. How are you? 16 PIMs plus 5. I want to get your opinion on this. I was happy for everyone in Toronto, the fans the other night. I'm happy for Peter Gurgis. He's printing money at Marble and what's his other one called? Mademoiselles?
Mademoiselles, yeah.
He's got the game on it. He's got the game on a fucking big screen.
I mean, I'm open.
It looks unreal. Let's go. Let's book the flight.
Open. Let's go.
If you're the Toronto Maple Leafs ups, are you like, okay, monkey off the back. We finally did it. Let's go win the Stanley Cup. Or monkey off your back. Fuck it. Now we got nothing to lose because if we lose, nobody's going to say anything because we did win the first round.
Witnessing the way, you know, Sheldon Keefe was on the bench, the way Kyle Dubas was celebrating in the crowd. This goes back to like the David Poile days of you when like you win a playoff series and it's like, they think it's the fucking Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I did say that to the boys after we beat the Ducks. I said, boys, it's like, guys, one round. We got to play the Canucks next, the President's Trophy winners.
Now enjoy it. Enjoy it. You beat Tampa and they've been working you for, you know,
go and get drunk 6-7 years.
Now, like, I don't know. If I was to look in and think as a player in this round, and maybe let's just focus on game 1 tonight. I think the Florida Panthers, I think they get beat tonight. Well, I think like Toronto is going to play a solid game. And that they got their attention back in practice. They've had a couple more days off than Florida. I see Toronto being dialed in to start this series.
Well, there is this, you know, and we're going to get to the next series that starts tonight. you would say coming off a 7-game series that the advantage goes to Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Florida was just in a war. They were down 3-1. Their emotions high. There could be a little dip tonight.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you on that aspect. Cool little thing here. You know, you were more of a Florida Panther than me. They are not allowing any Canadian residents in the rink in Florida. You must be a U.S. resident to get a ticket to the Florida Panthers versus Toronto Maple Leafs. So they're not saying you're coming in here and taking over our barn, Leafs Nation. So good for Vinny Viola and the Florida Panthers saying, fuck you boys. We're going to keep it rocking down here in South Florida.
So 100%.
Yeah.
You think the Florida people are getting tickets in Toronto? Not a chance.
People in Toronto can't even get tickets in Toronto.
I know. Well, pay to play.
It's going to be a great series. We'll see how it goes. Good on the Leafs.
I got the Leafs in 6.
I got the Panthers in 6. Maddie, keep her humming here. Next, Kraken, your Seattle Kraken versus the Dallas Stars. Go ahead, fella. Stay hot.
This is a good series. I threw out a little text to our boy Billy Quinn last night. Billy, what do you want, fella? So 2-1 here. Dallas Stars are minus 205.
It's gone up. It started at minus 190. So
it's gone up. Seattle Kraken plus 175. See this I might wait because I think Dallas is gonna win game 1.
Yeah, I bet
I'm gonna wait to throw a little tickler at this series when Seattle gets to like plus 220.
Are you gonna bet Dallas tonight? Because I already did. Are you gonna bet them or are you gonna just
What's the line?
I got it at minus 175.
No, but I will bet the over in this game. So I'm gonna bet the over.
So you're that committed. So I respect this. You're that committed to the Kraken that even the book says and your expertise as an ex-player that Dallas is gonna win. You still don't want to cheer against them. You're pot committed to Seattle. I'm giving you a call.
Yeah, well, I just don't want to lay this line on Dallas. Well, what's the game tonight? Because you're betting the game, right?
I bet the game at minus 175.
You bet the game at minus 175. Okay, yeah, tonight Dallas. Yeah, so it's minus 165 now on.
Ooh, so Seattle.
And no money line minus 180.
So people are taking Dallas.
Yeah, plus 155. Over 5.5. So see, these goalies were both great, right? In the first round, but I think both teams can score. I see this game being, 4-1, 5-1.
Now listen, I took Dallas in 7.
Yeah.
Are you worried at all from Seattle's perspective of Grubauer? Okay, he played his old team, right? Another thing I didn't take into consideration. He played his old team that shipped him out of town. They've won their first playoff series. They're patting each other on the back. Everything's good. Do you think Grubauer will still be just as hungry like against Dallas? Or will
That's a good point.
To me, I don't know. And Yanni Gord, who I loved, led their team in scoring, I believe, with 6 points in the first round. And Rope Hintz, man, this guy, you told me about, he's nasty. And me, the difference is Ottinger and the Dallas Stars, they proved something to me against the Minnesota Wild. I would have put them in the category of I thought they were a little soft. Now, the way the game's being called, the way it's going, it didn't help the Minnesota Wild, but Dallas proved a lot to me.
Yeah.
Ottinger was great. Their D are good. Seguin's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Does Pavelski play tonight? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Listen, I love Dallas, actually. The way I look at Dallas's team, I love Jamie Benn. I like Segs. I like Heiskanen. I love Rope Hintz. I like Faska. I love Ottinger. There's a lot of things in Dallas. I like the coach, Peter DeBoer.
You love Billy Quinn.
Love Billy Quinn. But by the way, we got to go hit Preston Trails. I am. Now,
no, but listen, that's how I am with the Panthers and Maple Leafs too. Like, this is the second time I went against the Leafs. I got no problem with the Leafs going on a run here, just so everyone's clarified. Like, I got no problem with Fact Daddy and the Leafs going to the Stanley Cup final and losing to the Edmonton Oilers. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like I'm cheering against the Leafs, but I'm a believer in what the Matty Tkachuk and Paul Maurice and the boys are doing in Florida. Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I know what you're feeling in this series.
Yeah. So, and in Seattle, like I want to have, I've been on them, right? The last little bit. I want these guys to dark horse their way through the playoffs and everyone kind of doubt what they could do. And then they win by collection. They win by, team play. But fuck, I don't know. It's going to be tricky. My boy Schwartzy, like he's a warrior.
Played great. Played unbelievable. Was probably their best player, wasn't he?
Yeah, I would say so. Will McCann be back?
So listen, Yanni Gord, 6 points in 7 games. Schwartzy had 5 points in 7. Like, can they keep scoring? Can they keep up to Dallas?
How many guys have 1 goal on that squad?
So you're going with depth. You're going with depth scoring, right? That's a good point by you. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys scored a goal.
That's impressive.
That's
right.
That's sprinkling around.
Where some guys are like fighting it because they can't score like a
there's
team
more
on
than
Meyer.
that.
There's
Sorry.
16, I think.
16, you're
16 guys.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and that's why they beat Colorado Avalanche right there, is because they got fourth line guys fucking scoring. They scored the first goal in fucking every game.
Don't I know it?
Right?
Don't I fucking know it, bro?
Crazy.
Yeah. They beat the Colorado Avalanche because the Avs had no depth.
Yeah.
And the Seattle was good. So I think it's going to be a good series.
What do you got?
I got Dallas in 7.
Wow. Okay. So you see, there's a little belief in the Kraken there to get this. I'm going to take.
They proved a shit ton to me.
I'm going to take Seattle in 7.
And another thing I'll say, I love what Seattle's building up there. I love Johnny Forsland. I love Eddie O. I watched their broadcasts a lot.
Yeah.
They play hard. I love David. You're the one pissing me off about Seattle. Okay. just so everyone's clear. You're the fucking one that's pissing me off about Seattle.
Why?
Not the fans, not the city.
No, but I'm just.
And Flowers are pissing me off.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
No, but anyway.
Listen, I love that you've embraced it and you were right. And that was a huge win, but they've showed me a lot of like the way and again, and you were right about this. Waiting for after game 1, I went, this is completely different. But I did take Colorado after game 1 at -125. I lost that one too. So I did take him again, but it was definitely to me,
yeah, for sure.
This is on. So who do you got? Dallas or Seattle? Did you pick?
I took Seattle in 7.
Seattle in 7. Do we want to go to game 7 in Dallas if it happens?
100%.
We'll text Billy.
100%.
Yeah.
We're going on the road here this round.
Yeah.
Somewhere, by the way, I just tell me where so I can tell
You
Christina.
tell me where. I got
Toronto, Florida.
I got my schedule's wide open.
Let's go Toronto, Florida.
As long as I do this podcast with you, I'm good.
Let's go game.
Well, we're going to Cabo on
Let's
Wednesday.
go game 4. No, next Wednesday. But let's go 4-5.
Where? Florida?
Florida, Toronto, boom.
When would that be? I'm in.
So we fly out for game 4 in Florida.
Okay, let me look.
Which will be on.
It's not out yet, but it's going to be. It's going to be on Saturday.
Yeah, so let's do Saturday, Monday, back home Tuesday morning.
But Saturday, Monday would be game 3 and 4 in Florida.
Oh, fuck. 4 and 5. So we can't do 4 and 5.
We can't do 4 and 5. But we could go to Florida.
We could go Toronto. We could leave for Toronto tomorrow and do tomorrow.
We could leave tomorrow.
And then do Saturday in Florida, come back Sunday.
We could go catch game 2 in Toronto Thursday night. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, Thursday in Toronto.
Yeah,
leave tomorrow. And then do Saturday in Florida and come back.
Yeah, we could. Let's talk about it after the show here.
Okay.
All right, and we continue on here, and another one, the Updogg, his New Jersey Devils.
So let me ask you. You start off this one.
So
I'm excited to hear your pick in this.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, okay, I'll start it off. The Devils, like we said earlier, they proved something to me. They got a great team speed. Their defense has length. And Ken Danico said it from the start of the year. And Daniel, you were right. This goaltender, I don't even know how to say his name, Schmid. Crazy to me. I love that Freddie Anderson's back between the pipes. I don't think New Jersey offense scares Carolina that much. I think Carolina can keep up with the pace of play. I think they're a better all-around team. I think Sebastian Aho is just as good as anyone besides maybe Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes is probably better than him, skill-wise. I like the Hurricanes. I got the Hurricanes, and let me double
plus
check.
110. So that's actually.
I bet them in the series, yes.
Okay. That's good. That's good value.
Let me just look here real quick. I got the Hurricanes in 7. I love Rod the Bod. And I like Freddie Anderson between the pipes.
I'm going to go Devils in 6.
Devils in 6.
This game, I might sit.
How's this one for like the ratings? Like, is this one, are people knocking down the door to watch Devils Hurricanes on TNT and ESPN? Like, is this a sexy series?
No, but we want the Devils to come out of this series if we want for atmosphere. Although I would like to go to Carolina.
Carolina's, we could play golf in Carolina. We could play golf in Jersey too.
So yeah, I mean, no, the answer to that is no. The Rangers, Hurricanes, they would have been watching that, but this is Jack Hughes, man.
He gets so many breakaways, man.
He's so shifty.
How does he get so many breakaways?
The most unique skating style I've ever seen, actually. Isn't it?
How about your boy Stastny? 3 goals in the first round.
Yeah, fucking Stas, man.
You want to talk about balanced scoring? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys scored in the first round for Carolina. Is that good?
In 5 games, pretty good, yeah. Did they win in 6 or 5?
They won in 6.
I mean, that's not bad. That's probably, I'd say, average.
Yeah.
Average of the road. But
Stefan Nason, 4 points in 6 games.
I know. By the way, I had him in Dallas when he and I were in Dallas's training camp. We got released the same morning. I remember looking at him just going, fuck, what are you doing now? He's like, I'm just going to chill. And, and then he went to fucking Wilkes. I think he went to Wilkes-Barre after. And then ignited his career back through the AHL and had a chance. He played with Pittsburgh that year. And I'm like, fuck.
Goes to the net.
Goes to the net.
Goes to the net. He's realized.
He's also playing 5-on-3 power play.
Yeah, I know. Right in front of the net. And now, would he have stood in front of the net when we played? No. But whatever. He stands there now. I mean, I like Nace. I played with him in San Diego. He's a first rounder. I never thought he was even going to play, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No,
but he's done a great job. Yep. He's done a great job. So I think to me, it comes down to Freddie Anderson. And obviously, Rod the Bod maybe goes back to Ranta if he has to. But Freddie, my man, this is your time to shine. So Hurricanes is 7. Frosty, his hair's so good. I know I said it. It's just he looks so good back there.
I know.
It's hard not to cheer for Frosty.
I know, but you're not. You're cheering for the Hurricanes.
Well, I got my money on there's a difference between cheering and who you got your money on too, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's a business fucking decision.
I know, but you could easily just put your money on the Devils. I can't cheer for the Devils
now. And Frosty, I love it. I love Jack Hughes, man. The kid's cool. He's fucking sick player.
So you're just...
The fans.
Okay, so you're betting with your fucking heart here.
Am I?
Yeah, because you're not betting on maybe the team that is
No, I
better.
think the Hurricanes got better. I think they're a better team.
Okay, well then that's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
Last but not least, the Edmonton Oilers versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Another one up now where I'm torn because I love Jack Eichel, Todd Pickup, Tom Riley. I want them to win.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I can't wait for this series, and I want to get to a game.
Yeah. I just think 97-29. When I woke up after all the first round and how disappointed I was with everything that happened, I think Connor McDavid and Julian Draisaitl looked at the league and said, who's going to take it from us?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Boston's gone. Colorado's gone. Tampa's gone. If they knock these guys out, I mean, there's still some good teams left, don't get me wrong, but would you not say it's Connor's to lose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want it to be that way.
Yeah, and he's due. I mean, he needs to win one.
Connor McDavid needs to hold the Stanley Cup this year.
Yeah.
It's what hockey needs, and I think he's close to it. Witnessing that live Saturday night with you and the boys.
That was great, by the way.
He's a man on a mission.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm in. I'm taking Oilers in 6.
I got Oilers in 6 too.
Yeah.
And Sean May, that was the guy's name, right?
Sean May.
He's a beauty. And the Oilers have been great to us. We have a lot of Oiler fans that listen to the podcast. We got an Oilers t-shirt coming out for you people. Me and the Updogg designed it. So help us out. Wear it to the game. It's going to be buttery soft. I think they're pretty cool tees, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
They orange out there, right? In the games,
they're wearing blue now.
But the fans?
I don't know I think it's a mixture of blue and orange, right? I think it's a mixture.
So that's why, did I write on the group text?
You did a blue one and a nice baby blue one, yeah.
Yeah, so we do the orange and the baby blue.
Yeah.
But with the same logo in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's juice.
Yeah, it's juice. I love Vegas. This one's tough for me, but I'm with you. I just, for all those things I just said, and I think it's time for Connor McDavid to, get her done.
Yeah, I agree.
Tea Times presented by our good friends at TaylorMade. Check it out. We got some raffles coming up. Maxie's got some cool shit with Princey. We got drivers. We got irons. We got balls. We got towels. We got fucking tees. We got it all. Updogg, is there any team you want to we don't have to go through all of them. Do you want me to start with some of these teams that, why don't we start with Rick Bowness's comments, what you thought about Bonesy, lighting up the Winnipeg Jets. What do you think's up for them?
This was tough. I like the Jets. I thought they're, for having to live in Winnipeg, I thought they gave it a great effort.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said.
Listen, Rick Bowness, I got to see him in Dallas Obes. First thing he said to me, he talked about you. He laughed. He's a great guy. Respect from the older players, which I love. I don't think he needed to do what he had to, I don't know why he took it. You probably got a better opinion with words on this than me, but I think he was trying to call out one particular guy,
Yeah.
maybe that wears the C.
Or used to.
Or
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
And just because, there was no Scheifele on the ice. Kyle Connor, I think, tries hard. He's just, he sometimes looks like he might be scared of his own shadow, but he is a dynamic player. Like I don't think he changed the way he played, but he didn't do anything extra.
Yeah.
But, Blake Wheeler, I think, on that lineup is the guy that was the culprit of this rant. I think it should be done behind closed doors, or maybe the message needs to be sent maybe media day, 2 days down the road. But he let his emotions get to them. And I've done dumb things too when I lose. We have some low points in our personalities out when we suffer from defeat, right?
No, we totally do.
And I think this was just one of those cases.
Yeah, and I think like Bonesy dealing with the media all year in Winnipeg and going back to January and February where they struggled, and then Bonesy had to call them out down the stretch and they found their way in. And I just think, if you ask Bonesy, he probably wishes he didn't say it, but he's an emotional guy.
Yeah.
I love Rick Bowness. Like, Bonesy's fired up. He comes in every morning. He's ready to be at the rink. He loves the National Hockey League. He loves it. He really does. And I just think, me personally, I think it's time for Blake Wheeler to probably leave town. I think you're right. I think that's who it was directed to. He's been a good Winnipeg Jet, move on. And for Bonesy, he probably wishes he had a mulligan maybe just to not.
Yeah.
But he was emotional. You just got your ass kicked in game 5. It's like, it sucks.
Yeah, and I think Bones truly believed that they had a chance in that series. They had a better goaltender. They had a better goalie. They had a better, opportunity to win these games at home that that fell apart.
Totally.
And the difference in these games is maybe the effort that he saw Vegas's players put in and his players didn't.
Yeah.
So, but just a low point, like kind of just letting your emotions show. And, some of the smartest people in the world, and greatest players have these moments, but it's, keeping those in check, I think is important.
Yeah. Bonesy just needs to get back on the golf course. Bonesy, get out there, tee it up, get that nice swing going. Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously John Cooper. Coop, I love you, buddy. What a run. I mean, one thing if you want to take away from the Colorado Avalanche, which I want to say a little something about the Avs, like this just proves to what Tampa's done the last few years even more. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. For this, we're all looking at this like, oh, fuck, shitty. But we're also like, what a fucking run.
What a fucking run. Yeah. And they still got their core. They still got their guys. Much deserved time off. Take some time off, boys. Get the fuck away. Don't touch your gear. If I was Coop, I say, boys, don't touch your gear till August. Yeah. Like, just get away from the game. And Coop, too, get to Gaza Ranch, get relaxed, and they're going to be fine. They should have won that series.
Yeah, they should have.
They should have won it 4-1, to be honest with you.
I know.
But they need some much deserved time off, so they will be back. I'm not too worried about them. They deserve a vacation, is what I'm saying there. And then the Colorado Avalanche, I love the Avs. I love Altitude TV. I love Kyle Keefe. I love Nate McKinnon. I love the Landy. They're going to be fine. But Joe, you got to get some depth for these guys. And now, Uppy, can you make it a culture like Tampa, where you can talk veteran guys to come in for a haircut, right? Because the cap's only going to go up $1 million. Can you sell Denver like Julian Breezeball and Coop sell Tampa? I know it's easier in Florida with the state tax, but they need to get some guys in there that, listen, we're going to win another one. You want to be part of it. Here's your 1.5.
Yeah.
They need depth up front. Can
I be honest about depth. This whole thing?
Yeah, please do.
Do players, is Nate McKinnon, is he the guy to come in and like lead the school? Whose team is this? This is McCarr's team. It's Landy's team.
Yeah,
Landy needs to come back.
Landy gets back.
He's the common denominator on that group.
100%. 100%.
No, and actually, I apologize there. Yeah. But when in this sort of series,
I know where you're going with that. Like, I know where you're going.
Because Sidney Crosby, you could easily be like, I'm coming in to play for Sid.
Yeah,
like 100%. Anze Kopitar, I'm coming in to play with Kopi, Doughty. But I know Nate McKinnon wears his heart on his sleeve. He's gonna have like when we talk about this time off right here, he was planning on playing hockey into the fucking summertime here. How is he gonna like affect this? Is he gonna sit with his leaders on that team and say, guys, like who can we go get? Like if I'm Cale McCarr and I'm McKinnon and I'm Landy, I'm sitting in that room and I'm talking with Joe and I'm saying, who in this league can we replace when we got rid of Kadri? Like we need to address that. Helm is probably done. Cogliano is probably done.
Yeah.
We need veteran guys now. Like who can we call to say, listen, we're building something here. We still have this team. Bo Byram's a young player. He's still with us.
Yeah. No, their D are locked and loaded.
Yeah.
And I've been hard on this guy, Sam Girard. I don't know him, but it's time to trade this kid too, in my opinion. Now, Eric Johnson, he may leave town as a UFA, so they're going to have to get somebody for him. But I think you could trade Sam Girard for a good young forward or a legit top 9 forward. And then you got to go out and get a second line center that you can talk into probably taking a haircut and coming in there and being like, listen, you come in here, we're going to win another Stanley Cup. I think Georgiev's a goalie. I thought he was better than Kemper this year to me. I'm just on the eye test for me. I watched a lot of Avs games. I think he's legit number 1. And this team will be back. But they missed Landeskog tremendously, and they have no depth up front, and that's why they're not playing.
Yeah.
So, and I love the fans there. That's a great barn. I mean, they're not going anywhere, in my opinion.
Listen, Denver's buzzing too.
Denver's
it's
buzzing.
a great place to live. Good families. Yeah, it's good.
Minnesota Wild. Love this team. Marcus Foligno, we're going to have him in the pod in a couple weeks. I just feel bad for these guys. I don't think they could play their game the way they wanted to. They missed Eriksson Ek. They missed Sundstrom.
Yeah. You hear Eriksson Ek try to play with a broken leg, right?
Is that what it was? He took one shift. He tried to play broken leg.
Tried to play with a broken leg.
Fuck.
I mean, that's what you got to try to do come playoff time. Where the break is one thing, but try to play with a broken leg.
Now going back to my gambling thing, could they come out and say that he's trying to play with a broken leg? Probably not, right? You couldn't say, hey, he's playing with a broken leg. They'd be like, are you nuts? So maybe that's why they don't do it. But
yeah, but then we look at it as like, well, what the fuck? Why isn't he playing?
Yeah.
Like what is, as an ex-athlete, you're like, what part of his body is banged up that you can't play in these games? Usually it's like you have a fucking torn ab muscle. You can't like get out of bed, or your fucking knees on sideways.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it?
Because we got our Sazich on it. We want to know, but they're definitely missing something in Mini. And I love Billy Guerin, and I know we both love Dean Evison. Marcus Foligno is one of my favorite players in the league. KK97 is a legit superstar. Do you got to find someone to play with him? Is Zuccarello the guy? I don't know. Dumba's going to be a UFA. Billy Guerin's got some work to do here because they're missing something. Like I thought they were going to beat Dallas, the refereeing in certain games early in the series, whatever, but they didn't. So they got to figure it out.
Yeah, and maybe maybe the underlying common denominator here is the Dallas Stars were just fucking good. They got really good at the right time.
No, and
they rallied around losing Pavelski.
How good was the Max Domi pickup? I said on our podcast and pleaded to teams for fucking 2 weeks for the deadline. Go get this guy. And Dallas got him at the fucking 5 minutes before the deadline. Like he's been unbelievable for them. Like
you're right.
So, but you would agree with me that Kirill the Thrill's a legit superstar. Like
he's
that's
a superstar.
They got him, right?
Yeah. He's a superstar. He ain't going anywhere. He's the league's. He's a top 5, arguably, player in the league. Yeah, isn't he?
I agree. And some Wild fans, I've got to know him over the year of my social media because I have been cheering for him. Great fans, great building. I used to love playing there.
Yeah,
I love that barn. Didn't love what was the hotel called?
St. Paul Hotel.
Didn't love that up.
Skinny walls there.
Boston Bruins Updogg. I just want to start this off. Obviously, terrible loss, but if that's the last time we see Patrice Bergeron, what a career. I think it was the way he was hugging the boys. And I got a little emotional watching it. I don't know if it was because of my money or because of Patrice, but I was on the couch hungover crying. Patrice, I was crying too, man. So Uppy, I don't know if you want to, but what a career and what a leader, and give him a front office job immediately.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. I think the Boston Bruins make an effort to keep him. And then he's a guy that becomes, team president or he's a GM or president.
There besides Cam Neely.
You just hear the stories about what he goes around and he speaks to like players in the minors, or he grabs a young guy and takes it for lunch, and he does all the right things. They'll eventually name a trophy after this guy. He played so fucking good. He has such a great career. Yeah. Could have won a couple more. But yeah, no, hats off to him. Tough way to go out, but you did it in your own barn.
Fuck. He was playing with a herniated disc in his back.
Crazy.
That would hurt, right?
Yeah, I mean, bulged. Yeah, fucking A. That would hurt. You're damn right.
So anyways, New York Rangers, I think we ripped them enough. We'll see what Chris Drury does there. But that was Tea Times, brought to you by our good friends at TaylorMade. Like I said, we got some cool shit coming out. We got drivers, we got everything, bro.
By the way, we got to fill that bag up with some clubs.
We got to fill that bag up with some nuggets too. You always need nuggets. So the milk carton presented by our good friends at Life Force, promo code Curfew for 20% off. I'm going. The bread man. You're on my fucking milk carton, bud. It was an embarrassing effort in game 7. He didn't have a goal, I don't think, all series, or a point. Did he have a point? I don't think he had a point ups. Panarin, you're on my milk carton. This kid I love, McAvoy. I like him as a player. He's old school. Yeah. I got to put you on the milk carton for game 7. He was all over the place. He was throwing pizzas. He was just all over the place. You're on my milk carton. Anybody else you want to throw on there before I move her on? Or?
No, you know what? No. I questioned the move to put the backup goalie in for Boston. Like I question that. Agree. I wouldn't question a lot of things that my boy Monty in Boston were doing this year. Yeah, you don't switch up. You don't put a backup goalie in game 7 at home. That's just, I don't care if Olmark had the shits or
I was shocked that Swayman was starting.
Why is he starting? That's like milk carton type shit.
Yeah. And I love Monty.
I don't care if you
talk to him through you at the
I know,
All-Star
but
game.
I don't care if Olmark lays fucking like a snowman the day before.
If you're going to play him in game 6 on the road, you got to go back to him in game 7. He's the Vested Trophy winner. It's his net.
It's his net. So anyway.
But we don't know what was going on. But you're right. Milk Cart presented by Life Force, promo code Curfew. Last but not least, get this guy a beer by our good friends at Labatt Blue USA. Yamamoto.
Get him a pint.
Yamamoto, I never doubted you, fella. I never doubted you.
Do you want
a little twisted wrister
got me
over the guy's shoulder? I heard Lundqvist talk about goalies going down all the time on TNT the other day. Shoot it high.
Short side titty.
Yamamoto, get this guy a beer, Uppy. I never doubted him.
Did you run into him?
He was right there. I didn't talk to him. I was drunk as a skunk. I didn't think that would be the time. But he was talking to his family. He seemed happy. He just scored the series winner. Get this guy a blue light.
Yeah, Klim Kloston. Get him a fucking
beast.
By the way, I went to say hi to him after the game. He's like, nice to meet you. I said, I fucking had you dumb,
Well, he was probably young and didn't know, eh?
No, there was other fans around when I went up to say, and then I went, buddy, it's Upshaw. And I said Uppy, and he's like, and then as I said my last name.
Well, you're so lean right now. You probably didn't recognize you.
I was running a show.
You're not jacked like you were back then.
What a game he had.
Klim Kostin, I love that guy.
That's why I think the Oilers have a chance, because they got tougher and they have more jam. But when a guy in a game like that, you can't just rely on fucking McDavid and Draisaitl. Everyone needs to step up, and the Oilers did.
And McDavid said that in his press conference. He said, for these people that are saying this is a 2 or 3 man team, we had 2 goalies play. We had Yamamoto score the winning goal in the series. We had Klim Kostin score goals. It was well said by Connor McDavid that this is a fucking team. Yamamoto, never doubted you, buddy.
Okay.
Matty Tkachuk, my boy Monty Kid fella. Get those boys a blue light. They're right back in it. They don't even have time to enjoy a blue light, although I'm sure Matty had a couple on the bird from Boston to Toronto. Love Monty Kid. We both love Matty Tkachuk. They played unbelievable. Get him a blue light. And then your boy Rope Hintz. I mean, talk about a guy that fucks. This guy, like, look out. He looks like a fucking thoroughbred / Clydesdale / like gazelle.
Yeah. Who?
A gazelle. Oh. Or you thought I said Giselle? Gazelle.
Yeah. Isn't a
gazelle like that just runs long? A gazelle?
I don't know what that is.
What's a gazelle, Bing?
I don't know. Look at this fucking effort he's putting in over here.
It's like what the lions eat, the cheetahs chase down a gazelle.
Right? They're fast.
He's a fucking jaguar.
Oh, he's a jaguar then. Get him a fucking car, but get him a blue light. He's leading the league in playoff scoring. Man, Updogg. This guy's unbelievable.
Who's got him in fantasy?
Cody's got him.
Oh, he's got him.
And then last but not least, this one's for you. The top one there. Say it out. Say it proud.
The Kraken shot blocking ability.
I mean, they've been just blocking biscuits.
I know. See, that's winning pedigree, Mr.
Blocking biscuits.
By the way, that barn is great. We got to get up there too.
Fucking Seattle, man. I've never been there.
Golfing.
I don't need to go to Seattle to shoot 85. I can shoot 85 right here. And last but not least, Weegsy baby. Get this guy a blue light. He says they need a new barn. And they get a new barn. So Weegsy baby, good on you. Get him a blue light. Love that kid. Better days for the Flames ahead. Mark my words. Better days ahead.
I would agree.
We won't have to wait in that pisser line at the Saladome anymore.
Tough pisser line. Stinky.
I'm not going to bet you anything this series because you know what? I don't trust myself.
Did we have any other bets?
No, you fucking won your Camus.
I got you 2-0.
I owe you a ball of Camus for the Devils Rangers.
Yeah.
I feel like I wasted a lot of my winter watching hockey, Like why'd I watch it? For what reason? To just lay an egg in the playoffs or what?
No,
I could have went to
because-
Cabo a few more times.
Yeah,
maybe
but you got a better
Hawaii.
feel.
Aspen.
You got a feel for the players, like the milk cartons.
I don't
see,
got a
like
feel
you gotta
for
watch.
shit.
You gotta watch it so
I
you know
don't-
who to put on the milk carton.
Put myself on the milk carton.
Yeah, well, you could have.
I should have.
Yeah,
Why didn't I hedge it up? Why didn't I hedge it?
that's okay. You get them back.
Listen, buddy, I love you. Keep going, stay hot. For listeners out there, you might want to ride the Updogg. So, Maxi, Binger, Hall Pass Media, you guys are the best. That was Missin Curfew.
Alas.
Go Cats.